So you guys have been asking for it. We've had a few comments that has said, why don't you guys cover Vista more? Well, we do. We have a lot of Vista videos, but it's been a while. So here we are. We're back again. We're going to hit 3 different neighborhoods right here in Vista. And Vista's funny. It doesn't really have a ton of distinct neighborhoods except the last one we're going to say. It's a master plan community right here in Vista. We're going to show you that, and then 2 other places, all different styles. So if you are thinking about moving to Vista, maybe one of these places is for you. So let's go jump into it. We're starting right now in downtown Vista, Main Street Vista.
Yep.
What's going on here?
It's growing, it's expanding. You hear us talk about it a lot, but Vista is definitely still up and coming. A spot that you're seeing a lot of growth in this downtown area with restaurants, breweries, a whole bunch of really cool stuff. And it's now like a place that people come often for date nights and to get out, because there's a lot of cool stuff happening down here.
And Vista has a little place in my heart. I lived here as a kid for a little bit. Have family that lives here. This used to be not anything it is right now. So there's just been a lot of revitalization. There's a place that's still original. It's probably, I could almost see it from now. But if you're in town, Pepper Tree, you got to go hit it up. It's like a little hole in the wall right out of Main Street Vista, right out of downtown Vista. Ice creams, burgers, that kind of stuff. So got to come get some of that, just nostalgia, good stuff too. But there's a ton of other places in here to check out as well. So good place, good jumping off spot. We always give you jumping off spots to like check out, to kind of go check out these neighborhoods. This would be a good spot to come see.
So the first neighborhood we're going to show you is right behind us over here. But first off, we are at Vista Sports Park, which is awesome. I just called it the Olga Norte of Vista. It has ball fields for Little League. It's got huge football and soccer fields here. If you can see, maybe in the drone footage you'll be able to see the lines, but you can see that there's a lot of different fields right here on the turf area. Huge playground, just a really cool complex that actually we went to a couple times this past soccer season and had a couple of games here, and it's just a cool venue.
Yeah, and this is where one of the Vista Little Leagues plays as well, but you wouldn't think this is just kind of out in the middle of nowhere. We're kind of far, like in the northern part of Vista. I'll show you guys on a map too after all this. We're gonna go through all these neighborhoods on a map so you could see. But Laurel Point right here, this neighborhood that's next to it, it's not huge, and it's not kind of typical for a lot of the other stuff that we're gonna show you in Vista, because it's like this infill, semi-new construction. It was about 2015 it was built, and we've helped some clients we've shown some clients these places in here. And even for how small the community is, there's actually a decent amount of turnaround in there. Meaning, there's usually a few homes to see. There's just 2 that closed recently, but you always see a few on the market in there, and it's a gated community. It's not the most convenient. You're about 10 or so minutes, like I said, when I show you on the map. Let's just save it for that. But this is kind of like new developments you will find in Vista are kind of these infill. So there's another one we helped some clients with over in the Buena Creek area of Vista. There's another one off Melrose where it's these bigger, larger homes, and some of them, depending on where your lot's situated, some pretty good sized yards. It's pretty sweet. I mean, if you're looking new construction and the price points are, if you're looking coastal and then you see something out here, you're like, a lot of square footage, decent sized yard, somewhat new construction. When I say somewhat, like, you know, within the last 10 years, and also like cool designs, like looking good. You were showing some clients in there, and it was great. Yeah, the great floor plans. Like Chris said, big lots. There's a lot of space for swimming pools, and just way more affordable than you'd get anywhere coastal. And now we're at Cassidy's, one of Cassidy's favorite places to be. We're on a ball field.
Yep. It's not one of my favorite. It is my favorite.
It is. We almost had to bring the gloves out. I was telling him where we were filming today. He's like, dude, we should have brought the gloves. We got a softball game tomorrow. We got it warmed up. But anyways, we're on one of the baseball fields here. A few other things are right behind us, right next to the sports complex is the Antique Gas and Steam Museum, or some of those words in some of that order. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it is not like a destination to go to, but a few times a year they do have a parade, which I've been to, and they line up all these, we're not gonna go on the grass, let's stay out here. They have all the old steam engines and tractors and all that kind of stuff that used to probably cruise through all these places in Vista, and they have like a nice little parade and some concession stands and that kind of stuff. So that event's kind of fun. There is also a few walking trails. There's a guy cruising on a bike and they kind of wrap around. It can connect to the campgrounds up here, which there's campgrounds out here, which are like, the Guacome, is it Guacome Lake?
I think so. Yeah, Guacome Lake is there.
Campgrounds. And it's just right to the north. I've camped there one time, but that was it.
You also have a charter school that's kind of right behind us over here, Guacome Academy, which is a K through 12 school, if that's something you're looking for up here. And then also for amenities, if you're looking for big box stores, the Targets, Walmarts, Home Depots, all that stuff, you're going to be going north of the 76, kind of just up a little bit from us here.
Yeah, probably like in like 10 minutes, but
yep.
Let's hop to the map. So right here, we're starting in Vista. We have all of Vista outlined. There's actually some unincorporated Vista too that you won't, that's just kind of outside these lines, but all neighborhoods we went to were within this area today, right to the east of Oceanside and the east of Carlsbad, basically split by the 78 freeway. Right down here, you got a few zip codes up here, a few down here. The first spot that we did start was right in the center of town. We went to the Vista Village. So we were kind of filming in this area here. This is where you're going to have some of those restaurants and shops and that kind of thing. So the main street where we drove down, and we'll cut in some B-roll, is just right down here. It's pretty small, but on the other side, all of this whole complex here, you have Sinopolis. There's a few more restaurants and stuff in here. There's a few spots in here, little breakfast spots and whatnot. And then you keep going, this next shopping center as well, where you got Fraser Farms. There's a few other places in here too. I think there's a Lowe's in here. There it is right behind us. You can see we're just north of the 78 freeway. And the first neighborhood that we did cruise to, you can see Vista's huge. So when we talked about Vista, there's not a ton of defined neighborhoods. First one is somewhat well-defined because it is a newer master plan community. Not big. Even on this map here, it was not even being built yet. I mean, they had it graded. But this is Laurel Point. So we filmed right here at the Vista Sports Park. Right next door is Laurel Point. They have this little section right here where you got a handful of homes. They have, kind of goes up in here. So there's gates on either side. So if you're living in here, gated community, you could get access to from the north or from the south. You have access to the parks, obviously. Some of those trails, there's some trails kind of cruising around. When we were filming on the ball fields, we were right over in this section here. You got a little trail going through. Vista, definitely not known for trails in general, but this little trail cruises around. It'll shoot you out to the north. Right in here is where you have some of that camping, little campground, a little lake, you know, nothing too special, but some trails and stuff going back through there. And as far as shopping, restaurants, all that kind of stuff, not much in this direct vicinity. If you go down Beaubier, there's a little shopping center down there. When we mentioned going to the 76 freeway, that's up to the north here. And as you zoom in, you'll see a bunch more things popping up. Home Depots, Walmarts, this big shopping center up here where you have Sprouts, you have a Target. Up and down the 76, this goes all the way to the coast, and then it goes inland through Fallbrook and whatnot. But this is where you'll find a lot of that stuff as well. It's probably going to be the closest to this area, but you can also shoot down south, down to the 78 freeway. Along the 78, there's some of the same amenities, especially once you get up to this area, the 78 and Oceanside, but this area is definitely going to be closer for you. So if you're living up there, you're not super easy access. The 76 freeway, one thing about it, it is a freeway, but there's lights on it. So throughout rush hours and stuff, you're actually going to hit lights. There's big stretches where it's just wide open, but right down here, if you're going to the coast, let's say you had to go, you're living in this section of Vista and you had to commute maybe to the central area of San Diego. So maybe you were down, had to go along here, maybe down this 56 corridor. It's going to be a little bit longer because you're not a direct shot down to the freeway. But that is the Laurels community right there. Right now, we're standing in, well, kind of like right on the edge of the next neighborhood that we're going to cover, which is, I'm going to say, one of my favorite neighborhoods in all of Vista. But before we get into that, if you guys are thinking about moving to Vista and you want to check out some other neighborhoods or anywhere really within San Diego, we are real estate agents right here and we love making these videos, but we would also love to help you with your real estate needs. help you find a place, really get narrowed down and, you know, dive into what's exactly going to work for you. So call, text, or email. The number is popping up right now. We'll hop on a Zoom call. We answer the calls, the texts, the emails. So just let us know what you're thinking. We'll hop on and get all your questions answered. But we're in Bringle Terrace Park right now. Vista is not really known for parks too much. This is going to be one of the bigger parks. Obviously, we were at the sports park earlier, but that's kind of more for, what does it say? Sports. Team sports. This actually has a lot of fun. I mean, disc golf, frisbee golf we call it, playground, ball fields. I remember growing up, we sit on top of this hill over here. You can't see it, I'll bring up some drone footage, but above the ball fields during 4th of July, and they have the 4th of July fireworks. They still have them here, right? Yeah, every 4th of July. And then what's the other one that they have here? The games.
Oh, the Scottish games.
Yeah, Scottish.
Or Highland games, Highland games.
Yeah, so they have some events here, but like I said, it's one of the bigger parks in here, a lot to explore, a few different areas. Moonlight Amphitheater is right in the center. There's also a Botanic Gardens right in the center, but Moonlight Amphitheater is where you go for like plays and different shows and stuff they have throughout the year. Very cool venue. It's kind of, you got the stage and it's all outdoors. It's really nice. But anyways, it's right on the edge of where we are right now. Tell them where we are right now, by the way.
So it's right on the edge of the Foothills community, which is, like Chris mentioned, one of our favorites here in Vista. Actually pretty unique to North County kind of as a whole too, just because of what you get, type of homes, the space that you have. And so a lot of that is the big draws of why people want to live in the Foothills and Vista is not a ton of huge homes, but big lots. A lot of ranch style, a lot of single story, a lot of older homes. We're starting to see more and more some of the older homes get renovated, but you have all the land like you would in like a Ranch Santa Fe or a Livenhain at a huge, way more affordable rate.
For instance, my brother lives in the Foothills, and at their house, they have a big area for their own garden. They're always growing tomatoes. We'll go over there and be like, hey, you guys want some? I think they give us like squash and stuff, you know, stuff that just grows a lot of. They have, I don't even know how many, I've lost count of how many chickens they have. They might have lost count of how many chickens they have, but they have a ton of chickens. They have this huge big driveway going up where they're planning on putting like a, not necessarily an ADU, but a detached garage out on their house. So you do have room for all that out here. Not every property, but a lot of them. A lot of them out here. So if you want a little spread out, there's not much infrastructure back here, which I'll show you on the map here shortly, as far as shopping and all. I mean, it's somewhat close. You're gonna find your little places to go. It's a little bit further off from the freeways, so freeway access is a little bit tougher.
I can see a chicken right across the street too, so.
There's a chicken. Yeah, so, I mean, it's real. It's like semi-rural living out here in North County, San Diego. So where was the Foothills? We're still in the northern part of Vista here. As we cruise in, this is where we filmed at, where you see at Alta Vista Botanic Gardens. That's actually where Bringle Terrace Park is. So this is that whole big park. Got the softball fields, Moonlight Amphitheater here. When we actually went through here, this place was actually pretty darn busy. Bunch of tennis courts going. There's pickleball courts over here that were cranking. They were actually redoing some of the fields. As we go out, basically from this area, it's not super defined, but once you find a Foothill Drive, that's going to be the foothill area of Vista. So kind of surrounding here, the foothills being in the foothills of these hills out here. So this is all nothing out here. But as you come down, that's where this whole neighborhood is located. So once again, even a little less convenient than that other Laurel Point neighborhood because you're a little further out. All these are side roads, basically no main roads going through here. East Vista Way will get you down to the freeway. You have Vale Terrace, which is somewhat of the bigger roads. Foothill Drive is one. But once you get in here, it's all little roads, stop signs, little ways to cruise through there. So there's no real easy, super easy access to hop on down to the freeway. You get to Main Street pretty quick. You're only about, let's say, depending on where you are, 10 to 15 minutes. That's the center section where we started here. There's a bunch of these properties have significant land, significant for San Diego. Probably if you're coming from the Midwest or somewhere where there's actually like acre lots, you'll find some of those out here. But mostly when I'm talking bigger lots, we're talking a third of an acre on up. So in San Diego, if you've been looking at homes in that smaller footprint, maybe like the next community that we're going to show, and then you see something in here that's a third of acre, you're like, wow, that is a lot of land. You're still not in that area where you're getting too hot as you go into the San Marcoses of San Diego, kind of like, let's just call it this cutoff here. Anything on the east of that starts getting warmer during the summertime. The further east you go from the coast, the warmer it's going to get. But right here, you're still on the west side of these foothills, so you're still going to get some breezes and stuff cruising through there.
So a theme has arisen today, and in honor of pitchers and catchers about to be at Major League Minor League camp, we are starting in another ballpark. So we've got baseball fields all around us. We're in the Shadow Ridge area of Vista, which is a master plan community kind of on the south end, just south of the 78 freeway.
And Shadow Ridge as a whole, so the other two neighborhoods north of the 78 freeway, you'll see this on the map again, south of the 78 freeway, but it's like the biggest community we're covering today, where you do have a ton of different little neighborhoods. There's some gated neighborhoods in here. There are some small kind of starter homes. There are some bigger homes with some views over kind of like, well, you can't see what way I'm pointing, but that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, so just kind of a wide range. So if you're looking kind of where you want to be, not too far inland and not too far to the coast, just because the price points obviously get up quite a bit, this is a good spot. I mean, like, you're right next to Carlsbad. You kind of can shoot down to all the amenities that Carlsbad has, like you can shoot downtown, but I'm talking about Bresci Ranch, which is a little community right up here. Within this community, you're gonna find a shopping center and that kind of stuff, a few restaurants, not too much. It's not really known for that kind of area. You will find something that is known for breweries.
Yep,
Some of our favorite breweries are right in here. Pure Project. Pure is solid, and that's like right up this way. And then you have the Sycamore Corridor, which that's what Cassidy branded it as, a Sycamore Corridor, where you have a bunch of other breweries right up there. It's kind of like one of the hearts of North County brewing is right here in this section of Vista.
And this is probably the most convenient. Chris mentioned how it's kind of centrally located around like Bresci Ranch, but pretty much in every direction you go, you're finding either little shopping centers with like local restaurants, or you're finding big box stores and grocery stores. One of my favorite Home Depots is just a little bit south of this, right off Melrose. It's always empty, so it's a great one.
And the golf course is right in the middle too, but it's not a public golf course. It is a country club. So if you want to golf, you want your own private place over there. Driven by many times. You've played once. I've never played, but it doesn't look too busy all the time. There's a driving range over there, so if that's your jam, that's right in here too. But most people that we've helped move in this little area too, it's kind of, once again, Cassie mentioned convenient. So where they were working, this is a spot that's just going to work for them, where you could shoot down the 78 freeway pretty quick. If you need to shoot south, you could get kind of anywhere you need to be, not too far. And like I said, price points are money up here. So now hopping into Shadow Ridge on the map here. It's in the southern portion, the first neighborhood we got south of the 78 freeway. And since I'll mention all the parks in here, here is Buena Vista Park with a few trails and stuff out here. Nothing too strenuous, nothing too long, nothing too big, but that is right here where you come off Shadow Ridge, and there's just like a little pond up here, a little areas to eat, that kind of thing. And then the main thing would be like the trails cruising through here. So like I said, it's not big on trails, it's not big on parks here in Vista, but you're south of the 78 freeway, and you're a big section right here. So basically kind of all of this, let me go out a little bit. Basically all this section here, north of Sycamore, that's going to be the Shadow Ridge area. A lot of it surrounding the Shadow Ridge golf course. So here's the golf course here. So if you did want golf course views, it's a country club or a private golf course, you can join if you like, obviously. But if you just want those golf course views, just because you like the visuals of it, there's a bunch of houses. We've helped some clients move right down to this section here where you're right on the golf course, beautiful views, that kind of thing. So that is all right there. Convenience wise, the 78 freeway right to the north, you'd probably just take Melrose going up to the north. You can go Shadow Ridge down to Sycamore to the 78. The central shopping center is going to be right here. And you don't really have that defined downtown. If you're going to downtown, or you kind of want that vibe, not downtown San Diego, but downtown Vista, Main Street Vista, go just a little bit to the north. This is like, yeah, you'll find a few little local restaurants and stuff. You'll find some Albertsons, obviously Starbucks and whatnot. There's another little shopping center down to the south. When you get to going down South Melrose, there's Home Depots and that kind of stuff down there. When we mentioned Bresci Ranch, which is another area, that has a bunch of, it'd kind of be in the middle of the Main Street Vista and this, where you're in Shadow Ridge, you're right in the center there, but you could shoot down here for date nights and all that kind of stuff. They have a bunch of restaurants and whatnot down in that section too. That's actually in Carlsbad. But going back up to Shadow Ridge here. So in this area too, you're going to find different types of homes, different square footages, from super small homes to nice, big, large homes. They're all throughout this neighborhood. They're all different price points, obviously, but that is where you're going to find Shadow Ridge. Just if you're going to the beach, if you're moving to San Diego for the beach, your probably easiest way to get down there is go south, cruise down Palomar Airport Road or to 78 Freeway, because this whole big section here is Calavera Preserve. So there is Cannon, but it doesn't connect. There's just no, Cannon continues down this way as well. But in this section is where we have covered, and it's a bunch of hiking and stuff out there as well. That is in Carlsbad. It's like not real close to this area, but I'm just talking about getting down to the beaches. Because if you're living in San Diego, that's what a lot of clients do reach out, because they want to be coastal. They want to be closer to the beach. Right here, you're not too far, as you can see on the map. But once again, 78 Freeway or Palomar Airport Road, which is this little corridor going through here.
So if any of these neighborhoods we've checked out today are of any interest, or if there's another neighborhood you want some more information on it, definitely get in touch with us. Call, text, email, book a Zoom call with us. We'll answer all the questions you have. We can jump into the map and kind of show you some other areas that might work as well. And we've got your back when moving to San Diego.